Howdy folks, this morning's shave is to spotlight Kai's YouTube channel. He's got a giveaway for reaching 100 subscribers. I have a link to his YouTube channel. You need to stop by and visit it because soap that he's going to be giving away is from West Shaving, and it's soap of your choice. And one of them that might be something that you might be interested in is this one right here, James and Artemis. And this scent here is rose, bourbon, leather, vanilla, and steampunk. And this particular one here, take the top off. That's what it looks like on the inside. I've got a few of these, in other words, so I got upwards of 20. But today's shade is going to be Black Bart. And Black Bart is black licorice and cedarwood. And I also got matching aftershave, which comes in a pump. Got the alum block complete with rubber band. Thager's witch hazel with aloe. Today's shaver, once again, this is he usually shaves with a straight razor, so I'm going to give it another try. This one here, if I remember right, this is, get it turned around here. This is a gold dollar. I think it's a 208. Used to have some gold lettering on there. It's long since gone, and comes with the plastic scales here. Each might call it a white wood grain type looking scale, but anyway, already stropped it, so hopefully I didn't roll the edge, because that's where my weak point's at when it comes to straight razor shaving. Go ahead and get the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Cube here. It's getting smaller. That's a lot of pre-shave, even with it being smaller. You usually don't shave with the straight razor, so this could be an interesting one. Survived yesterday. No cuts, nicks, weepers. Kept both my ears. Don't shave underneath my nose, so I don't have to worry about that. And for me, from years gone by, a long time ago, for me, shaving on the chin area would have probably been problematic, because that's usually where irritation picked up, because the density of the growth right there is pretty thick. So from, like I say, years gone by, I know that's a problem area, but I don't have to worry about that today. There are benefits of having facial hair. I've already put a hot towel to the face, and prior to me using pre-shave soap, I used to just use the bloom water when I would bowl lather, and that bloom water is what I would use for my pre-shave, and it seemed to work out pretty well for me. And eventually I ordered some more products from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and ended up with some samples of pre-shave, and that's how I kind of got started. Decided to go ahead and give it a whirl, see how pre-shave is going to work out for me. And excuse me, not sure how much of a difference there is in between using the bloom water and a pre-shave, so it's going to be your mileage might vary. I mean, I know there's a difference, but I'm not sure which one I would prefer. I'm going to continue on using pre-shave for a while until I guess you might say I come closer to a conclusion that I don't mind using the pre-shave, or I'll go back to using the bloom water. Got this whipped up with one of Russell's brushes here. This is Raven Brushworks, and this is the logo that's on the bottom of this particular brush. This handle is Bradford pear, if I remember correctly. Got it fully loaded here. Got it whipped up in this little lathering bowl. It's got deep grooves in the bottom of it. So the benefit of using a bowl like that, in my opinion, is it does collect soap down in the grooves, so that you can continually pull some out of there if you needed to while you're whipping it up. I'm going to go ahead and get lathered up here. When it comes to lathering bowls, it's kind of find the one that you like. I don't know that grooves in the bottom help me that much. If anything, like I said, if it holds some of the soap down in the grooves, in case you might say for later use, that's the benefit I see of it. Otherwise, it's the shape of the bowl that I find more beneficial. The shape I have here is my, in case you haven't seen it, I'll get it here. I have a couple of bowls here that I really do favor, and it's because of because of the style. Like this one here is the cherry walnut one that I got from the Distinctive Goat, and this is what's on the bottom. And to me, this is important. I think this is pretty cool. I appreciate that on the bottom. And this bowl, how it's designed on the inside, just the shape of it, more of a, I guess you might say, U. Excuse me. It really does help keep the lather inside the bowl and less ends up on the outside. And this one here does have grooves, so it does retain some of the soap down inside. And I left the lather in there just to kind of give you some kind of idea of what it looks like on the inside. Practice lathering. The other one is one of my very favorites, and I got this at a thrift store. Actually, my wife found it for me. And this is the shape of this bowl. And once again, it kind of gives you that U shape. And it even retains some of the soap down in there. I try not to scrub it all out. Sometimes I try to leave some in there. On a daily shave, I can still smell the scent on this one. And this has been sitting out for a moment. Both of these have. But anyway, when it comes to lathering bowls, it's, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to find the bowl of choice. And like I said, mine came from the thrift store. That's my favorite one there. As well as this wooden bowl, which I got from the Distinctive Goat. But that wooden bowl that's a pretty special bowl in my opinion. That's pretty awesome. I also have a dry towel in front of me. I've got a damp one off to the side here. The damp one is where I'm going to be wiping the shaving cream off to the side, help keep my sink water a little bit cleaner for a rinse. That's the upside of shaving with a shave head or a straight razor, in my opinion. This particular one here is shaped different than the one I used yesterday. The one used yesterday had a longer tang, and it seemed like this was a more comfortable grip, but for this one here, it seemed like two in front, two in back. One of these days, maybe I'll shave with it enough to get real comfortable with it, but this is what I'm going with today. And if you have never tried any Wild West Shavings soaps, his scents are, in my opinion, the scent is not weak. The amount of stretching will be up to the individual, depending on their skin, how tight it is, or how loose it is. But stretching will help you out. Getting nicks and cuts. This gold dollar came from Strike Gold Shave, that's Frank. And that's where the majority of my shavers came from. I do have one that I've got from John Romanoff, a vintage one. And but as goes for all my gold dollar CYs, I got those from Frank. He puts the edge on all my shavers here. As it goes for me, with my limited experience with straight razors, it seems like a shaver larger than 5/8 seems to work better for me. It kind of goes back to weight. The 5/8 is lighter, it seems like, and I like heavier shavers. And of course, the bigger the shaver, usually the more it weighs. So I have a tendency to lean more towards a heavier shaver, which usually means a bigger one. I don't have quite the problem so far. I don't have one that's like a 7/8 just yet. I've been eyeballing one off and on. One of these days maybe I'll get brave and pull the trigger on a 7/8, but I don't know. So far the width does not cause me quite the problem as opposed to the length. The length for me is the challenge, because you can kind of see right there that covers quite a bit of the area, and I'm accustomed to something smaller. So maybe in time I'll get used to it if I keep shaving with a straight razor. I will have to say, as it goes for, does a gold dollar keep an edge? Considering I'm starting out and stropping is my weak point right now. Rolling the edge. In other words, in time I'll probably get a lot better if I use it consistently. Stropping, won't be rolling the edge. It seems to work just fine for me, especially just starting out. So if you haven't tried straight razor shaving, and if you're unsure, it may not be necessary to start out with a one that's more expensive. Start out with something that's a little cheaper, maybe even a vintage one. Like I said, John, that's where I got a couple of 5/8s from there. Inexpensive, comes shave ready. I would think that would be a good place to start. Start on the inexpensive side, and then once you get a little bit used to it and think this is the thing for you, just like anything else, venture off into something that's more expensive. But for me, the gold dollars and ZY work just fine for me. I have seen the, I think it's a W58. The one I got is a 59, but I think it's a 58, the short stubby. I'm very kind of interested in getting one of those. I might have to hunt one of those down here pretty soon. Reason why I say that is the stubby being smaller might be easier for me to maneuver around my face, something I feel more comfortable with. It also depends on the, I guess you might say, how big are you? I'm not a very tall guy. I'm only standing about 5'6", so my facial features are maybe somewhat smaller than some others, where I guess you might say a full-size straight razor might work better for you. For me, I'm thinking a smaller one, especially with my facial hair. Started out with shave heads before I started doing straight razor shaving, so you can kind of see why I may favor something a little bit smaller. There is the benefit that once you get used to a straight razor, the full size, it does cover quite a bit of area, so I guess you might say fewer strokes. And yes, this black licorice does fill the bathroom. Matter of fact, here lately, because I've been when I left the shaving cream in the bowls, that's been the upside. The bathroom smells so good. Walk in the bathroom and say, yep, that's my shaving soap. It smells great. It was mentioned to me about Sterling's. Sterling, I was looking at their website yesterday, and there's I think there's two of them that would be black licorice scented, and one of them's black ice, and the other one I can't remember exactly what the name of it is. I think it starts with an O, and I think that was the one they mentioned that it's like black ice on steroids. That's the one I might be interested in. Black licorice is such a unique scent. Like I said, it's there. fills the bathroom. Just a very unique scent to me. From especially when I was a kid, black licorice, you know, in the store, and that black licorice has a definite taste to it too. That would be, I guess you might say, uh, maybe one of the reasons why I find this particular scent appealing is you don't see a whole lot of black licorice in the store anymore. You're lucky to see any Twizzlers, it seems like. For me, that stroke right there, coming at it at this angle, may seem kind of awkward, but for me, that is the preferred angle for me. With the creases I have on my neck, if I approach them at an angle like that, I find I don't catch those creases. Works better for me, in other words. Looks awkward, but works better for me. I think I may have forgot to mention, um, Russell soap comes in plastic containers that resemble snuff tins, tobacco, and as you can tell, they're filled to the brim, and that may or may not be your thing, especially if you're bowl lathering. Filled to the top doesn't really bother me, but if you're lathering out of the container, it could be a wee bit of a mess. Pretty smooth. I have to say, this shaver here, there is a big difference in the shave feeling between the carbon steel and the stainless steel. To me, I find the carbon steel more comfortable. Even though I like the shape of the one I used yesterday, W59. Can say yesterday, especially my upper cheeks, boy were they smooth. They were very smooth from yesterday's shave. It was like, wow, really was a close shave. Very smooth. There might be a different thought process on using the damp towel on the side to be shaving wiping your shaving cream off on the side, other than keeping your rinse water in your sink cleaner. The other school of thought is to help keep the water from that pivot pin. If you follow on Instagram, if I've got this straight, on Instagram, Chapman Collects is the name, and then on her YouTube channel, it's Wild Women of West Shaving, I think is what it's called. I got the title right. I watch her channel from time to time, and she does not prefer to have her straight razors in water at all. In other words, trying to keep the water away from the pins so that they don't rust. Just something to think about. I know sometimes people have different thoughts on that sort of thing, but it does make a little bit of sense if you're using just at least even if it's dry or damp towel on the side to be wiping your shaving cream off on, that if you're keeping your straight razor out of water, and it's a straight razor you spend a good sum of money on, and you're wanting to last a long time and not have any problems with rust right around the pivot pin, might be something to think about. Where we traditionally on a DE shaver, you put it in the sink, sometimes you put the whole shaver in there, let it warm up, while you're getting ready, for the shave or whatever the case might be. It's in water. And keeping your straight razor out of water might be the thing to do. I'm not too sure myself. Been pretty careful on keeping the pivot pin away from water, as well as the fact that, to me, if it seems kind of odd to you, if you're wanting the pivot pin to stay away from any kind of water, when I stand mine up, I stand it where it drains away from that pivot pin. And it just seems to be kind of natural to me to do something like that. But I've seen others where they, storm the other direction. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but I don't know. Gold dollars aren't exactly expensive, but I also still want to keep that gold dollar around for a while, so me just being the way I am. I know to get a straight razor around the 7/8 side would be it's going to cost me some money. In other words, I haven't seen a gold dollar just yet at a 7/8, but if they ever make one, good chance I might go ahead and spring for one. I probably should go ahead and do this. If you're wondering about some of the scents at Wild West Shaving, he's got plenty to be choosing from. I would think that at some point in time you might find one that you might find interesting. Like Manny was doing several shaves with lavender, and here's one right here, Laramie, and the scent on this one here is black lavender and bergamot, and that's what this one here looks like. And all of his scents, to me, in other words, I have no problem smelling his soap. So if you like a lightly scented soap, maybe that's not the direction you might want to go in. And let's see here, I've got a bag just full of them. That's another thing too that's really nice about these. Being a 2-ounce container, easy to store. I've got them stored right here. I mean, you can store a whole bunch of them right in there because it's just a 2-ounce container. Here's another one. This one here is White Buffalo, and this is what it looks like on the inside. I've got several that, like I say, I bought, give it away, use some of it, give it away. This one here has a sense of gardenia and sandalwood. So if you like sandalwood, White Buffalo might be one for you. If you haven't tried it yet, I think it's $7.99 for a 2-ounce tub. He's usually got the matching aftershave to go right along with it. For me, that there's two draws that I really like about the Wild West Shaving Soap, is the fact that it comes in 2-ounce tubs, which makes it easier, to have 20-30 cents in a bag that I've got right there. So if you don't have very much room to store your shave gear, that is definitely a plus. He has a wide variety of scents, and at $8, $7.99, that's pretty inexpensive considering you're used to spending from $15 on up, for instance. I'm going to put some of this in my hand here and put it on my face, but boy howdy, this is great. I've been looking forward to this one. I planned on using Black Bart here pretty soon. It's just because of this is my favorite of all of his. It's because that black licorice is so unique. But tomorrow shave another straight razor. But I'll be using Chisholm Trail. This is the one that Russell and I had several conversations going back and forth on it. And this one here has scents of smoky campfires and saddle leather. And that scent is pretty special to me, especially if you're used to camping outside with, I guess you might say, the old style. No charcoal, you're using the wood. This is awesome. Great stuff. I don't think I ended up with any weepers. Didn't feel like it. Right there I did catch myself just a little bit, but not enough to make myself bleed. It didn't really sting. My stinging, you might be able to see it right there. I think that's more because I'm trying to get a pimple there or something. That's what it feels like. Keep on shaving it off. It may never show up, huh? I had a great shave. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check out Kai's YouTube channel. Get a chance to win some free soap. Everybody stay safe and smooth shaves to you.